For today's video we're gonna be flying out the 262A1U4 with a 50mm because I need to get some kills for the battle pass. I need 13 more kills, and I recorded this commentary before I got any gameplay. And just to let you know, I have no idea how this video is going to pan out right now. The idea is that I'm just gonna record every kill, every shot, and put it in the video so you can see my average gameplay, my average aim. I haven't flown this thing in a while, so it's probably gonna be very ass. Video might end up being like 2 hours. We'll have to see. But I'm gonna be including everything. And here we are, about a few weeks later, because now I'm gonna actually make a commentary on the plane. Actually went quite alright. I got it done in about 4 games, which was a lot quicker than expected. Luckily, however, because I wasn't really looking forward to making a 2-hour long video. But all is well. I got 4 games for you. I got 4 kills in each. And yeah. I sorted them by like quality of gameplay, so if you can't really stand to watch the entire thing, the first 2 games are definitely the best, and the last 2 are mostly just there for the sake of them being there, because well, I promised to show you everything. I did cut off some little parts in between fights, so say I have some areas where I'm simply flying straight towards someone and he's 20 kilometers away. I'm not gonna speed it up this time because nothing happens other than me flying straight at them. And you won't really lose a lot, and the video is already about 39 minutes long, so I thought I'll just cut it out because I suck talking about nothing and there's not much to see. Also, get ready to see me die. Yeah, I know, you've been asking for it. There you go, 50mm in action. I'm using the HE round. The HVAP is a lot faster, but it might just overpenetrate, and the AP belt with the APHE filler, it also might just overpen, so you end up getting not a single kill. So what we did there was dive straight in, shoot at the J21, don't get a hit in because I'm underleading, overleading, I can't really tell with this small ass screen, but we missed him. I'm simply not very used to this gun. This is the first plane or the first jet that I've ever flown in this game, and it's been a good minute. I haven't flown this thing in a very long while other than ground RB, and there you don't really see the ranges, you don't really shoot people from across the map. I did get a stall kill on a Wyvern, blasted him out of the air, but you know, that's not really comparable to what's going on here. And now I'm gonna be shooting the A21. He's busy with the 262. He dives underneath me, making it a pretty annoying shot. Miss it, and back up we go. Gonna be extending away, gonna be waiting for that guy to start turning with the teammate, and the Spitfire dives on me. Gets a little bit close, I actually didn't see him. Yes, even I miss things, and this is what happens when I show you everything. I am pretty aware, I rarely get caught off guard, but it does happen. And it happens to everyone. I can blame the spotting system, I can blame the game, but in the end it's because I didn't look up. Sure, he didn't get spotted maybe, or maybe he did, I didn't even look at the radar, and that's just because I'm so much flying on autopilot lately that I don't really look at the radar anymore. I don't look at dots, I don't look at markings, I don't look at dots, I don't look at the radar, because 9 out of 10 times people aren't spotted, and if you're relying on something to spot for you, chances are it's not going to work and you're going to die. And I can then blame the spotting system, or what I can do is simply look around, look for actual dots, because those will always be spotted whether they're in range, or if they're in range. Sure, if they're in a cloud or something, not really your fault that you're not seeing a dot, but then you have to be more careful, you have to be looking around, you have to be looking up more, because you know you're in an area where spotting is a little bit more difficult, so you should also play accordingly to that. Right now I have a Kiko on my 6, and what I'm doing is I'm extending away from the A21, I'm clearly outrunning him, getting some altitude, giving him the idea that chasing me isn't going to give him any reward. So I'm just flying towards my team, hope any of them break off. A21 flies away. So we are going to re-engage the Kika, definitely the most dangerous plane in this matchup. He outruns me without any issue. And what does he do? He goes for the Junker 288. He shoots him out of the air pretty handily, and now I'm on his 6. I'm about 700 meters away. I'm slowly catching him, so he's forced to do something, and he goes into a very shallow turn. Missed the shot, get even closer, hit him center mass, blow his wings off and his tail control, miss 2 more shells, and then I'm just gonna let him fly into the ground. There's no reason for me to let this guy live or to finish this guy off. It only will cost me ammo, time, and just energy, making it so that the next guy will be more annoying to kill. I announce he's dead because there's no way he's gonna be pulling out of that, just in case someone thinks he's a threat. He goes into the ground very quickly after. And now I'm going to engage the A21 because he is the closest. He's in the back of the line and he's busy with the 288. So relatively easy kill. Gonna be seeing if I can pick him off right here. He starts turning. He's aware of me and he's gonna be pushing ahead on. I shoot again. Underlead the second shot. Simply missed the first one. And we have to extend away again. A21 is still going for the bomber. The P51 is flying away. F8F is ground pounding. So I am, for the most part, alone with his A21. So I'm gonna be baiting him up into a shallow climb, into a spiral, to drain him from his energy. Problem is, he doesn't take it. Instead, what he does is he flies towards his team. Because he doesn't want to 1v1 with me, which is completely understandable. Because I have a lot more energy than him. And he probably doesn't know I'm the 50mm variant. Unless he was, well, aware of it. But most people don't really notice. I see a 262. They don't know which variant I am. So he goes back to his team because I have a lot more energy. Go ahead on with the Spitfire, shoot around, miss it, and we simply keep going straight. The Spitfire is no way in hell he's ever going to turn around and then catch me. So I'm just going to be turning around very shallowly, and the moment I do so, the other A21 also turn around to go for me. So now I have both of them on my 6, but I still have quite a bit of speed, quite a bit of altitude to convert in even more speed to easily get away from these guys. And that A21 did his maneuver to turn around for me the second I looked away. And should I have looked back at him? Yes. But also at the same time, he wasn't really that much of a threat, so I wasn't really worried that he was going to kill me. So I got a little bit, how do you call it? Complacent, I guess. I just figured he wasn't going to do anything. And he turned around a second, I did. And now I have to deal with 2 of them on my 6. And again, he breaks off. Together with the Spitfire this time. The Spitfire is breaking off completely. The A21 did this kind of fake pull off and now he's back on my 6. But he's closing the distance. But keep in mind, I have more altitude than him and he's cutting me off. So it looks like he's gaining a lot of ground on me. It looks like he has more speed than me. But in reality, he doesn't have anyone near the energy here to actually catch me. I do want to be careful because the A21 at low speed is much better than me. So I don't want to drag this on for too long. So I'm going to be putting this thing into a shallow climb here, into a very slight bank, wait for him to shoot, start dodging his rounds, and now he is gonna be stalling out. I want to make sure that I don't stall up with my nose pointing straight up, because what happens then is this thing goes into the famous 262 tumble. So I keep this thing sideways, we start drifting a little bit, we stall, make sure that we don't start flipping out, because we've all done it. Nose straight up and we start doing this cartwheel, well, not the cartwheel, like a somersault. We get on the 6 of the A21 just like that, just underlead that round, and now we are on the offensive. We turn this around by simply stalling him out. There's no way I'm ever gonna reverse an A21 in this thing. What I can do is use the energy to switch the positions. He's starting to roll at very low speed, hit his wing root, blow it clean off. Spitfire crashes, which is good for us. And that's 2 kills down. All the guys on the runway, or near the runway actually, he's taking off. So what do is we stay fast, we stay straight. And I can say that because it's not Pride Month anymore. Of course that's a joke, I'm not hating. Why do I even need to explain this? We are just gonna go straight up. And if he follows me he won't have the energy. But it looks like he is not really paying attention to me. He's in the clouds, he sees me now. But now he's kind of in a position where I have a lot more energy than him. He's really slow. Makes for a relatively easy shot. And we shoot his wing off as well. Bravo indeed. And we keep it straight again. I really need to stop saying that because it's going to trigger people. I'm just going to be flying straight for a little bit. Looking where the enemy is, because I do see a dot over there. But you are ready to witness my one death of the video. And people ask me very frequently, why don't you show me your deaths? Why don't you show your fuck ups, and why don't you show blah 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 blah. And in reality, most of my deaths are like this. And you're going to enjoy it. You're going to enjoy me seeing me death on the screen, because that's great and all. But in reality, there is just not much to take away from it. There is not much to gain from this kind of footage. If I show you getting boom by 7 people at once, I will probably survive for 1.5 minutes. I will kill maybe 1 or 2, and then I die. Is there anything I could have done differently? Maybe. But that is only, I'm only able to say what I could have done differently in hindsight. At that very moment, with the information that I have available, that's just all I could have done. And I can show you that, but it just does not give you a good representation of what's going on. And it's the same as cherry picking only the best gameplay and only showing the very great stuff. There is just not much to take away from it. And that's why I don't really show you it. Right now I'm gonna be showing you, because I promised you I would show you everything, so I will. You can already see where this is going. This is a F2G that has been on the runway from the start of the game. He has 0 points, he has been AFK, and I'm already yellow overall, everywhere. Overall is a Dutch word, doesn't matter. I'm already yellow. I already have an orange pilot, so I'm gonna be trying to shoot this guy from a very far range. I get a hit, I keep shooting, I get a crit, hit him again, and my plane is just completely busted. And I can, like, why would I include this in a normal video? Why would I? This is most of my deaths, stuff like this. There is not much to take away from it, and that's why I don't show you it. And another game, this time also with 4 kills, but there's actually some action going on. There's actually some multiple dogfights, there's some 2v1s, 3v1s, or 3v2s actually. There's a little bit of everything. We're gonna start off very slow here, however, because I don't know what's going on just yet. I haven't seen how the game develops. F3D presents himself though, and well, F3D is kind of annoying. Underlead the first 2 shots, and then I led the last one properly, but he bobbed his wing a little bit and I expected him to dive back down, but all he did was a barrel roll. So I just kind of shot underneath him for no apparent reason. He then flew straight because he just kept rolling, and we shot him center mass. And you can say that me giving a reason for why I miss is an excuse, because I've heard some people say that kind of stuff. In reality, it's simply so you can understand why I'm missing, because in the end I'm the one that squeezes the trigger, which means I'm the one at fault. Of course, when I get sparks or something like that, I will mention that, but you know, you can mostly see them straight on the screen. We see an F-84 here. He's going for AI, and he's very much a high value target. The way he's flying, not so much, because he's going for AI, so he's probably not that much of a threat later on. But this is a plane that can at any point of time run away, disengage, and re-engage me whenever he feels like it. And a plane like that is very annoying, especially when you see all these well, F-80s, not at F7F, because that plane does the opposite of eating jets for breakfast. What it does do is the shit that the F-80s and stuff just put right in his mouth. That's the only thing he's gonna eat for breakfast. It's not a fun plane to fly right now, and it's the same BR as this thing. It's the same BR as the Kika. Sure, those things are on your team most of the time, but it's simply not a good plane. And I'm not sure what he was smoking when he said that. Maybe very small sample size, but whatever he was smoking, I don't want to have a bad trip like that, so I'm gonna stay away from it. We got some separation from the fight now. The fight is kind of developing because I don't want to go in on my own. I get an air spawn, which means that I will mostly engage the team on my own, unless I have some other air spawn planes with me. But flying on your own, when there's that many F-80s on almost equal energy, is not very fun. You don't want to take it. And F-84s at the start and F-3Ds, what they can do is make it so that they push you down. And if they start pushing you down at the start, it's almost game over for you. You're a 262, you're still a 262. You don't have the best acceleration, you don't have the best turn rate, you have good retention, but you don't have the energy, the engines to really support that kind of playstyle. So you need to keep this thing relatively fast, you need to have some energy, you need to have some altitude, and otherwise you are simply going to die. So we go straight in, go ahead on with the F-80, shoot him in the head, shoot over him, we don't hit him, and we spiral him up a little bit. He is very, very slow. He is not going to be catching me here. There's another F-80 in the background, which I'm kind of worried about, and there's an F-80 directly below me. There's also another 2 planes on my right. I see the other F-80 coming straight in, so I want to keep it very, very tight here, very, very close. Make sure that the other one doesn't pull back into me, so we stall out this one, and there's also another one directly below me. He won't have the energy to really deal with me here, but it does make it so that I have to change my lineup, bleeding more of my energy and making it so that I can't kill the other one. So back up we go, and then the third one comes in. We pull into him, pull off last second. If he hits you, you die. That's simply how it is in the 262s, because your engines just really like dying. Stall out one of the F-80s. Irado finishes him off, which is perfect. And now I notice that if I go for that F-80, this one kills me. If I go for this one, the other one will re-engage me, because they've been playing it properly. So what I do is, I disengage, I fly straight away. I'm going to pick up some speed. The Arado is now on my 6. He will be able to shoot the guys off my 6, or at least push them off, and if he pushes one off, that will be completely fine. So I'm going to be seeing what they are going to be doing. Best case scenario, one breaks off and I can 1v1 the other one. Worst case scenario is they both stay on me, but even that doesn't sound, well, too bad really. I have one on my 6, he's being engaged right now, and if he does the right thing, he will go for the guy on my 6, because the F80 going for him won't get anywhere near him. And I will try to bleed this one of energy. I'm going to be using the terrain here to cut off the angle. He doesn't get a shot. I'm going to be going very aggressive here. Look at what the other F80 is doing. A router coming back in. I bled this F80 of some energy, and I'm going to be extending away now. Both F80s flying the opposite way now. One is flying away, one is coming towards us, but we are kind of luring them into 2v1s. The other F80 does a straight split Immelman, that's the word. I'm not really used to these terms because I never use them. F80 goes for the Arado, and the other F80 also goes for the Arado, which makes it so that I can get some separation in and then turn back in, and I'll be on their 6. The F80 breaks off, at least one of them, as you can clearly see, and we can now re-engage the guy that's completely alone. Kind of bad from C2, because he left his friendly to die. He just left him alone. Not the best thing to do. Expecting Citas here to turn back around and I can re-engage him then. Looks like he doesn't want to. Maybe he's running min fuel, not sure why. I didn't really get a good look at his performance, so I can't really tell you. But now we can simply 2v1 this F80. Irado has a lot of energy. He can push him slow, and then I can come in and outmaneuver him. Of course, a 262 doesn't really outmaneuver an F80, but in this scenario, I might very well be able to. He's coming head on with me. Underlead a little bit. I saw that the other F80 is coming back in now, but he already turned back around, probably low on fuel. I get directly on this guy's 6. I have a lot of energy, or a lot more energy. I'm not particularly fast. Hit him in the tail, shoot his rudder off, hit him again, set him on fire. The other F80 as well as his friend are gonna be going RTB here, and we are going to chase him there. This F80 is going about 400-500. We have a little bit of energy over him. If you read the chat, I thought he was camping the base. Not what happened. Don't blame him for it. He simply did one lap around to get some speed up, which is completely fine. 1v1 now, and I have more energy, so I'm gonna put it into a corkscrew. If you want to follow this, be my guest. We just go horizontal here, delay the stall, and the second he drops back down, we're going to shove this 50 mil directly in his tailpipe. Use the flaps here to get a little bit of extra turn in, extra quick, so I can shoot this guy directly on the stall. Underlead, overlead, directly on the tail. He is not doing very well, and the other F80 is now taking off. I carry a little bit more speed than I would like to here, because he is simply damaged and he's losing a lot of speed. He doesn't have the speed to keep it up this time, however, and we are going to be slotting directly on the 6, because I don't want this guy to land and then repair again. So as promised, 50 mil in the tailpipe. I'm only going 370 right now, but I do have about a kilometer on him of altitude. So I have quite a bit of extra energy. The thing is, however, he is most likely on min fuel, because even at the start of the game he was running it, because that's why he was back on the runway. And I'm in a 262 with a 50 mil, so I really have to be accurate. I have 18 rounds left, which is more than sufficient, but I still need to hit my shots. And if I hit, or if I miss too many shots, I will simply not survive. The F80 is a superior plane to the 262. I'm in a better position right here, but this plane is still extremely dangerous, because, well, I'm only in a 262. So I'm diving in here, picking up some speed. We don't even try going head on. I'm not going to risk getting shot by 50 cal. And he does the right thing. He goes horizontal to maintain his speed, because if he just keeps around that 500 mark, that 500 roughly, he will maintain his speed, and slowly but surely he will start to equalize the energy. So the longer we wait, the worse position I'm going to get in. So I'm going to play a little bit of the long game here. He goes horizontal, so I go vertical. This time he follows me vertical to deny me the angle, which is the right thing. I have a little bit more energy here, a little bit more altitude, so I'm going to be diving in to convert some speed or altitude into speed, to get a little bit of extra turn rate. And I'm just trying to bleed him off his speed without ending up in front of him. I'm just trying to maintain position. position right now is more important than the energy, because if I stall him out, chances are he can stall out himself, get a lucky shot in and blast my engines. And you can see how close the performance really is. We're both on similar fuel loads, and right now he's just flying straight. I'm going to be catching him here in the raid fight because he's too low on energy, and he seals the deal by simply turning back in my guns, and we pilot snipe him with a shot on the wing. Nicely flown. Unfortunately for you, I had a lot more energy coming into that, so I could simply abuse that as well as my position. F-84 attempting to spike me. I'm not going to take the head on, just pretend I don't see him. I'm not going to pull a last second head on, because especially with this plane it's just a death sentence. So I noticed that he's going to go straight into my team, and normally I wouldn't do this. Normally I wouldn't chase someone that's much faster than me, but this one scenario is one of those exceptions. The F-84 is a very dangerous plane, as I mentioned earlier, and because he's flying straight into my team, I want to do two things. I want to look at him, to spot him, and what I want to do is make sure that the moment he tries to pitch up here for my team, that he dies. I want to kill him at the start of the game. He's alone. I don't want to go straight in, because I'm all the way on the front line on my own, and that's not somewhere I want to be. Not in this thing. So I'm simply just keeping some energy here, keeping some altitude. He goes down. I don't have to dive on him, but in case something went wrong, I was there to help my team out. Normally, don't chase the guys, so waste your time in resources like fuel, energy and whatever. So don't even bother. And the game, you'll see after this, that chat message is for that. He wasn't very happy I third-partied him, but you'll see at the end of the video why I kind of helped out a teammate. So the F7F is trying to have some breakfast, but unfortunately for him, he can't really catch anyone, because, well, he got up tier to 7.3, which is very enjoyable indeed. So we are closing the gap here. He's a very big target, very easy kill actually. P-51 behind me, so I only get one shot, and then I will have to disengage. This is the second game I played in the thing, so horrible aim. Not sure how I managed that. Then again, I haven't flown this thing in a while, but you know, when a plane is that massive, you expect to hit it. Dive away, don't want to get shot down, I don't want to become breakfast. So we simply turn around the second he disengages and hope that the P-51H will stick on me, because I'm fast enough here to dive out and bleed him of all his energy, and if he doesn't go for me, I can re-engage this furball here. P-51H breaks off to the opposite side, which is fine as well, putting in some distance here, so I have a little bit more time if he tries to go for me. But right now there's not much going on, or not much going on that I can do anything about, because they're all above me. So I'm gonna be flying straight here. I'm going to keep my speed a little bit and make sure that I don't get pounced on when I try to go back into the fight. Just looking how it develops, there's a F2G above us, the P-51H on the left, and then there's the two F-80s as well as an R2Y2 on the right, and that is definitely the more dangerous area of the map. So what I want to do is win the team fight over here, or at least make sure that we win it. We probably will, but this is a plane that I'm not really confident in, so I don't want to try to go 2v3 or whatever. So I'd rather fight the team fight here, win it, and then swarm the other guys behind us. Missed the first shot, he turns back in, straight into the fuel tank. He gets set on fire. P-51H damage model is an absolute joke, so he doesn't actually die. And he's going to put the fire out, because that's what P-51Hs do. He is however pretty badly damaged, so we are simply going to turn back after him and make sure he doesn't get stolen, because I need these kills. He's very, very slow. Shoot a little bit too high. Second one goes directly in the engine, and it also kills his pilot. F80 going for me. He's a lot faster than me, so I'm going to be keeping these angles tight, making sure that he doesn't get a shot. Expect the stern to go upright here, and he does. Anticipated it directly on the 6, and he's going to be flying straight. Not sure why, but that makes it a very easy shot. See that the first one misses a little bit, adjust my angle, squeeze the trigger again, and there he goes. F80 dead. Turn back around, going for the two guys on the other side of the map. That's also an R2Y2 somewhere, but I'm going to be closing the distance here, and again I'm going to be cutting it out. Here we are, close to the F2G. Something I want to kill right here because he's turning away from me. P-51H on my right, no way he's ever going to pull in. Shoot his wing off. Another F2G behind us. Just gonna do a flat turn here, because I'm being a little bit too aggressive, but you have to keep in mind that there's a lot of teammates in the area. The reason for my aggression here is that I want to kill as many people as I can before they kill anyone. Because that makes it so that we get more numbers. I can kill the R2Y2 here, but this F2G will probably turn back in. And if I get this guy with this kind of speed on my 6, I'm basically dead. Do want to make sure that this R2Y2 doesn't pull back for me as I'm going for the F2G. He's flying directly above me, he has a tiny Tim on. We're just gonna be flat turning this guy because he's very, very slow. Keep an eye on that R2Y2. He's still turning for me, so I need to kill him right here. And if he hadn't turned back to the right, I probably would have broken off, tried to run away. The R2Y2 is just in gun range, kind of far away, so it's pretty easy to dodge. But he also has an Arado on a 6. He can stick on me. And then he does a flat turn and he manages to lose the turn to the Arado. He goes down, and that's gonna be game number 3. The last game I got for you today, or rather the first one that I actually played in this thing in a long while. So get ready for some epic aim. This guy is pulling it straight in front of me. I have no idea where this gun goes at this point. But I want this F-84 out of the match. Right now he's pretty slow. He's alone. And I have no aim. So I'm trying to get the shot in here, but he starts rolling around. And I struggle. I really struggle. Underlead. Underlead. He rolls around, underlead again, hit his wing, straight off, and we are going to get out of here. I don't want to be low on the deck, going 700 at the start of the game, directly in the middle over the ground pound area, because chances are someone else will spot me. I'm probably already spotted by the guy that I just killed, so they know I'm there. But then an attacker comes in, and I don't mean the plane, the attacker, but I mean like a plane that's ground pounding, and he might just catch me off guard, maybe start shooting at me, maybe bleed me of my energy a little bit because I have to dodge him, and I don't want that. F82 in here, not sure what he's doing at 6.7, but he's probably still more dangerous than in the F7F. Completely miss it, completely botch the shot, try to pull back in, not gonna happen. F80 on my 6. And we have sufficient energy, so we just extend away from it. And then I see the other F80 diving in, and I'm not sure who he is going to go for, because there's also 2 friendlies behind me. I'm guessing he will go for them, and he will go for no one. He goes for me for a little bit, and then he breaks off to re-engage the MiG-9 or the F84 below him, which was the correct thing to do. The thing is, he didn't really pay attention to me after he switched targets, because now he allowed me on a 6. In hindsight, I probably should have gone for the guy on the MiG-9 right now, but I wasn't really sure how much energy this guy had because I couldn't really pay attention to that. Ignore me missing every shot. He rolls around, can follow that, hoping that the MiG-9 is fast enough to, well, disengage from him. Luckily he is, and he switched targets to me now. We go back head on, shoot the 50, shoot a little bit too low, and we re-engage the F80 that I should have gone for from the start. We're now on the 6th of the F80, of both F80s. MiG-9 is close to the first one, he takes him down. And now he's sandwiched. He will either have to disengage and pay attention to me, or he will have to stick on the MiG-9 and risk me to shoot him down. So he's really just sandwiched, kind of in a bad spot. I'm slowly going to be catching him because I'm not climbing as steep as he is. I'm using some speed here to close the gap, and then I notice a meteor. And a meteor is a plane you just really don't want to fuck with in this thing, because they're very, very annoying. Meteors are those kind of planes that you're faster than it, sure, but he accelerates better, he turns better, he has easier to use guns, and he's just a pain to deal with, and I don't want to deal with that. So what I do is I simply dive out a little bit and outrun it, because that's all I can do. You are not going to win a dogfight with any 262 versus the Mark III Meteor. Sure, you can probably stall trap it or energy trap it in a C2B, but that's not really what I meant. I mean like a straight up dogfight. The Meteor Mark III will out dogfight a lot of props. So if you think you're gonna dogfight it in your 262, you're dead wrong. You have to run away from it, you have to third party it almost, or really just hope they completely mess up. Because even if I have more energy, if I'm outrunning it, what he can do is simply climb away because he has better acceleration, and then use that kind of energy to shoot me down later. It's a very annoying plane to deal with, especially in the 262A. With an F80 and stuff, it's doable because it's fast enough, it has easy to use guns. But something like 262A1 or A1U4, where you can't really just hose them or kill them easily, they're very annoying to kill. And it's a plane I will very gladly third party. The Corsair breaks off, it's a Corsair 1. Haha, funny troll squad. At least the one with 20 mils, but it's an absolute horseshit of a plane. And we disengage after killing the FU. Meteor's on my 6, he also has someone on his 6, so he's forced to break off. He does so. We loop around. And we are going to be shooting him in the ass. Closing the gap, it's 3v1, not much is going to be going on. And the video at this point is essentially over. But it's, that's just not much that's going to happen. It's just me struggling to hit my shots. And a third party and some kills here in the end. So if you really can be asked to watch the entire thing, you're not going to be missing much. Just click it off. I'm not going to waste your time with this shit. But for the people that do want to see it, feel free to stick around. For the other guys, I'll see you in the next one. He flies directly in my guns. Just a third party, not much to talk about. Looked cool and all, but in reality, not a very hard kill, not a very eventful kill either. Now we are going to spend a good 3 to 4 minutes trying to climb up to this friendly, because he was so busy trying to maintain his altitude and his speed that we couldn't really catch him, because he had a lot more energy over us and he was just dragging him away from us, making it so that we couldn't really help him. So I urged him a couple of times to dive to the deck. He didn't really listen. He didn't do so. He finally starts a dogfight with the Mark III. Not sure what he thinks is gonna happen here. Probably got impatient. But we are gonna come in here to third party the Meteor, and that's the chat message I mentioned earlier as well. Because, well, he wasn't very happy that I third partied him, but saying that he is completely fine on his own versus a Mark III Meteor, not really fair, because the Mark III Meteor walks all over this thing if he even thinks about trying to turn with you. So we are just gonna flat turn with him. We have a lot more energy. We have the position here to cut inside of his loop. We shoot again, wing on, off, engine on fire, and that's all I have for you today. Hope you enjoyed it. See you all very soon again, and have a nice weekend.